Hunter is a class that focuses on close-range combat. They are a good choice for new players due to having high HP and defense. Today, we're going to talk all about how to play a Hunter. Let's get to it! While PSO2 doesn't follow the typical MMO holy trinity of tank, DPS, and healer, Hunter is the closest we get to having a tank class. Hunter's primary mechanics are Warcry, Hunter Physique, Iron Will, and Hunter Arts Avenger. Warcry makes nearby enemies more likely to focus on you for 30 seconds, and is most useful when playing tower defense quests or to protect squishier party members. Hunter Physique reduces the damage you take when activated, and stops you from being knocked back when hit. This skill can be upgraded with Hunter Physique Short Cycle, which reduces the duration of the skill, but also reduces its cooldown. When maxed out, this brings the duration of the skill down to just 5 seconds, but also brings its cooldown to 30 seconds, down from 3 minutes. You can also upgrade this skill with Hunter Physique Extra Shield, which provides you with a shield when Hunter Physique ends, but it only works if a Photon art is being activated, and will protect you like Hunter Physique does for 3 hits. Iron Will is a very useful passive skill that protects you from dying. This skill will save you from a fatal blow by leaving you with 1 HP instead. It also makes you invincible for 10 seconds afterwards, giving you time to heal. It has a 3-minute cooldown, however, so be careful not to rely on it too often. Hunter Arts Avenger increases the damage of a Photon art if you get hit while using it. This skill can be altered depending on your preferred weapon, which we will explain later. But regardless of weapon choice, you can upgrade this skill with Hunter Arts Perfect Parry, which blocks enemy attacks when you release a Photon art. Hunter Arts Parry Advanced, which gives you an additional invulnerability period when Perfect Parry activates, and Hunter Arts Avenger PP Gain, which makes you recover 10 PP when Hunter Arts Avenger activates. Let's look at Hunter weapons next. Hunters are tied with Fighter for the largest weapon selection, being able to use 3 different weapon types: the heavy-hitting sword, the far-reaching wired lances, and the partisan, which is somewhat a combination of the two. Let's look at the sword first. Sword is a very straightforward weapon. There are 4 Photon arts for the sword, all of which can be charged up for greater damage by holding down the Photon art button. The sword has a 4-hit normal attack combo, which can be upgraded to 5 with the skill Sword Attack Extra. You can hold down your weapon action button in order to guard from attacks in front of you, but this can be upgraded to attacks from all around you with the skill Omnidirectional Guard. You can also learn to counterattack with your weapon action with the skill Sword Guard Counter. Blocking an attack as it's about to land, which is called a Perfect Guard, will unleash a powerful counterattack. This can be upgraded with Sword Guard Counter Plus, which will let you follow up with an extra counter if you trigger a counterattack by using a normal attack right after. Remember when I said sword Photon arts can be charged up? Well, with the skill Sword Arts Overcharge, you can charge them a second time, increasing their potency by 200%. The sword also has several skills that can upgrade Hunter Arts Avenger. The first of which is Sword Arts Charge Avenger. When you have charged a Photon art long enough, getting hit will trigger the Photon art with all the benefits of Hunter Arts Avenger applied to it, almost as if you were counterattacking with a Photon art. This is a good skill to use against very aggressive enemies that make lots of attacks. If you add the skill Sword Attack Alternation, you can use a normal attack after triggering Hunter Arts Avenger to make an additional powerful strike. Let's look at the 4 sword Photon Arts. The first Photon Art is Spiral Edge, which is a vertical strike that moves you straight up in the air. When charged, it will land additional hits on your target. The next Photon Art is Twisting Zapper, which is a spinning attack that hits enemies around you. If you are locked onto an enemy, you will spin towards them, but if not, you can control the direction you spin. Charging this Photon Art will increase the number of spins you do. The third, and most powerful, is Caliber Streak. This is a slow but powerful combo of 3 slashes that, when charged, leave an afterimage of your sword that deals multiple hits. This skill notably does not trigger Hunter Arts Avenger, and you are locked in place when using it. Unlike other Photon Arts, when fully charged, this attack will trigger itself automatically. The last sword Photon Art is Relentless Cleave, which is a single overhead strike. When charged, it moves slower, but has greater range and more power behind it. In practice, Sword is very easy to use. When fighting a large group of enemies, such as a PSE burst, Twisting Zapper is your friend. Charge it up and let it go. If you are fighting larger enemies like Gororon, you can use Relentless Cleave to get some strong hits on their weak point. If you're fighting enemies who float off the ground, Spiral Edge can give you just enough height to land some good hits. And when fighting a boss, Caliber Streak is your best tool when they are downed. Just hold the button down and enjoy seeing all those big numbers. Next, let's look at the Wired Lance. While its damage potential is not as high, the Wired Lance sports a farther range than Sword or Partisan, and is more mobile as well. There are 4 Wired Lance Photon Arts, only one of which can be charged. The Wired Lance has a 3-hit normal attack combo, which can be upgraded to 4 hits with the skill Wired Attack Extra. Wired Lances get a damage bonus for being the right distance from an enemy you attack. You will know you are the right distance because the targeting reticle around an enemy will change to an orange color. Your weapon action launches your Wired Lances forward to grapple onto an enemy, which will pull you to them for a powerful kick. This can be upgraded with the skill Wired Anchor Advanced, which allows you to input a direction and change which way you launch your wires. Holding left or right in this case will spin the wires continuously and whip enemies around you. The skill Wired Anchor Perfect Parry also lets you guard against attacks by just tapping the button. This will protect you from frontal attacks, or from any direction if you have omnidirectional guard. You also have a special attack in the form of the skill Crossing Feather, which adds a gauge that is filled by attacking. When it's full, you can activate the skill to attack with a powerful forward slash. The Wired Lance also has a skill that changes Hunter Arts Adventure. The Wired Anchor Avenger skill will increase the potency of your weapon action when you use it following a Hunter Arts Avenger trigger. This can be upgraded with Wired Anchor Strike Back, which applies Hunter Arts Avenger to the next Photon Art you use after blocking an attack with Wired Anchor Perfect Parry. Additionally, Wired Anchor Range Collection will treat your Hunter Arts Avenger Photon Arts as if they are always at the correct range. Let's look at the Wired Lance Photon Arts. The first Photon Art is Cutting Layer, which performs 7 slashes in a wide area in front of you. The second art is Vein Mixture, which performs 2 wide spin attacks, then ends with a slash. You can move around while spinning, but the final hit will lock you in place. The third art is Turbulent Train, which performs 4 slashes that spin you in the air. This can launch smaller enemies. If you are locked onto an enemy, pressing a forward input while using this will move you upwards towards them. The final art is Hellish Fall, which grabs an enemy and slams them down. This art can also be charged for a powerful attack that follows the enemy. When charging this skill, which takes 5 seconds to complete, getting hit twice will instead trigger the attack early and deal increased damage. Hunter Arts Avenger also applies when the art is triggered this way, making it a good way to punish enemies who use lots of low damage, high fire rate attacks. In practice, your Wired Lance rotation may look something like this. During a PSE burst, Vein Mixture is very good for dealing with groups of enemies. Against a single target, spamming Cutting Layer can rack up damage quickly. Turbulent Train can help you deal with airborne enemies, and Hellish Fall is a good tool for dealing with fast-moving and attacking foes. Be sure to use Crossing Feather whenever possible for extra damage, particularly against bosses. The final hunter weapon is the Partisan. Partisan has a higher damage output than Sword or Wired Lance, but lacks a counterattack. Partisan also has 4 Photon Arts and a 3-hit normal attack combo, which can be upgraded to 4 hits with the Partisan Attack extra skill. The Partisan weapon action is a frontal guard, which can guard in all directions with the omnidirectional guard skill. The most important skill for Partisan is Volkraptor. By holding down your weapon action, you can launch a spear that will stick to an enemy, which can be targeted and attacked. After a certain amount of time, or a certain amount of damage dealt, the spear will explode, dealing damage to the enemy that ignores their defense, making this a powerful ability. Upgrading this with Volkraptor short cooldown will reduce the skill's cooldown from 60 seconds to 15 seconds, allowing you to use it more often. Partisan skills that affect Hunter Arts Avenger are Assault Charge, which will unleash a chargeable thrust attack if you press the weapon action after using a Photon Art. This can be further upgraded with Assault Charge Avenger, which will increase the damage of Assault Charge after Hunter Arts Avenger is activated. This can also be upgraded with Partisan Parry Alternate Assault, which increases the potency of Assault Charge if it's used after blocking an attack with your weapon action. Finally, there's Partisan Quick Assault, which allows you to quickly close in on an enemy and attack when you press the weapon action button after sidestep striking or countering, assault charging, or photon blasting your enemy. Let's look at Partisan Photon Arts. The first Photon Art is Cleaving Scythe. This art performs a wide slash in front of you, which can be charged for an additional slash. The second art is Thrusting Javelin, which allows you to throw your partisan at your enemy. If you hold the button down, you will continually thrust at your target instead. The third art is Fatal Tornado, which is an attack that makes you spin your partisan around. If you charge this art, you will make 2 additional slashes as well. The final art is Triumphant Shift, which performs a combo that ends with a step backwards. This combo can launch smaller enemies. An example rotation for a partisan might look like this. During a PSE burst, Fatal Tornado is a good choice for dispatching several enemies at once. Against a single target, such as a boss, stick them with Volkraptor, and hold down Thrusting Javelin until it explodes. You can also use Thrusting Javelin to deal with airborne enemies by just tapping the button to throw it at them. If you are looking to create a multi-weapon for your hunter, a good suggestion would be to focus on using either sword or partisan, and multi-weapon it with a wired lance. The idea is to use the weapon action of the wired lance as a gap closer, particularly against flying enemies. There are 3 classes that work well as subclasses for Hunter. They are Fighter, Bouncer, and Slayer. The Fighter skills Defeat Advantage and Defeat PP Recovery let you deal more damage to enemies who are downed and gain more PP from normal attacks against them. Bouncer makes it easier to inflict downs on enemies with Defeat Amplifier, and increases damage dealt to and reduces damage received from enemies who have had parts broken off with Partial Destroy Advantage. Slayer greatly increases your critical hit rate with Critical Up, increases it even further against bosses with Gallant Attack Critical Up, and allows you to regain PP when you land critical hits with Critical Hit PP Gain. And that's all the information I have for you on Hunters. Thank you for watching, and if this video helped you, please like the video, and subscribe for more PSO2 content. I'll see you all next time.